Hello, this is Rhonda of Green Glass. We're going to talk today a little bit about a simple wire cage for square glass. Now the tools that I have here and supplies are some 2.5-inch square glass, some jewelry tools basically, so a couple needle nose pliers and wire cutters. Now you can use just regular needle nose pliers, but you can also get an inexpensive set of jewelry tools at Walmart or online. I have a 16 gauge copper wire that I got at Lowe's, okay, and I just have a tape measure. You can use a measuring stick or whatever you want to do. I also have some sandpaper, okay. Let's go ahead on to the first part of this. Now, this is just regular cut glass, regular window glass, and you know, a lot of times it'll have sharp edges. If you want to, if you're concerned about getting cut, you can take some sandpaper and kind of just slightly go over the sides if you like. Okay, and that will just take the sharpness off. Okay, but still leave a nice, clean edge to it. Does that make sense? Okay, so we've got the glass. Let's go ahead and measure out the wire. Okay, I just don't have a measuring stick. You can do 11 inches, or you can use a page. You know, just measure it just about so that you have enough. So we're going to go right at like 12 or so. Okay, and this will be more than what we need. Okay, and what we're going to do, let's see if we can make this a little bit wider. Kind of like straighten it out just a little bit, and I want to fold it in half. Okay, I want to take one set. You can use the ones that are rounded or however you want to do it. And I want to go ahead and get it close. There we go. See? Okay. And so we're going to do that to it. Okay, so you're kind of like folding it over. All right. And we're going to take the other ones. Okay. And twist. Whoops. The wrong way. That's great. See, you know, that's the thing. Actually doing these things and talking at the same time. I'm going to ignore you and then do what I can do. What we need to do is to twist it a couple times. And I want tight twists, okay? So there's 1, 2, quit, 2, 3. Let's do a fourth one because I know I have plenty of wire. Okay, so there we go. We have 3 twists, all right? You still have that opening. You try to keep that opening open, because you do need that for later. Okay, you can make this bigger or smaller or whatever, but that'll do what we need it to do. Okay, so if you want it bigger, you can actually go ahead and use a pin or a dowel rod or something like that that will keep the opening wider. Okay, but all we need it to do is to be able to go ahead and put another wire in there. Okay, so here's the glass. All right, what I want to do is to go ahead up to the caddy corner. All right, let's go ahead and get that flat. I want it flat up against the glass. All right, to try to make it look as professional as I can. And I want to make sure that this is above the corner, okay, but still behind the glass, because what we're going to do, all right, is kind of bend it out. I still need it behind here, okay, and what I'm going to do is about halfway over the side here is I'm going to bring it around like this, okay. Now it's hard to work with the heavier wire, but it makes a better finished product after you're done. It's more stable. So I'm going to do that to both ends. So what I've done is I'm still behind the glass, right, on the corner. You can still see it's caught right back there, and you can actually scooch it down to make sure that you get a good, you know, behind there. Now, I want to go ahead All right, and bend this over and bend it like that, okay, just so that I've caught it there. All right, and so now, basically, that's the cage. Okay, you see how that works? It keeps it in there solid. It's not going to slip out, okay? And so, and it's stiff enough, you know, if you use 18 or 16, this is 16 gauge again, it's not going to move around on you, and you can have it like outside. If you had smaller squares, say like 2-inch or even 1.5-inch or whatever, then, you know, maybe you could use a thinner. The smaller it is, the thinner you can go. Okay, so this is a pretty chunky piece of glass. So there you go, right there. All right, so now what I want to do is to try and keep it as even as possible and bring it around the back side. Okay, so we're trying to do, whoops, we're trying to do this up here, but down here. Okay, so I'm going to bend it around a little bit more. See, there we go. Okay, so now we've got, you know, this is the basic cage. Okay. All right, now what I want to do, and I've played with these. These have been my experiment. Okay, so we're going to make a chain out of them. And what we're going to do is to go down here and put it in the one that's over here. Okay, and I want to go backwards and forwards. If like, you know, this is behind the glass, or this is behind the glass and this is in front of the glass. So you've got, you know, like the big parts in the back. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to go opposite each way. See, here it is in the front, here it is in the back, so that when it hangs a little more evenly. Okay, it's hard to see that, but it makes sense if you think about it. So, see, this one's up, and I'm going to put the big pieces down. Okay, and in we go. Now, you can do just about anything with this. I like to go ahead. There are better ways to do this, I'm sure, but we're just going to go ahead and bend that down. Okay. Try to get it as close as possible. All right. And we're going to take the other piece, and now it's bent down into a loop. We're going to take the other piece and go around it. Let's try and get that closer. All right, so now you take the other piece of glass and you make sure and get over top of that other wire. Okay, see the other wire is right there. So if you have to kind of squish it a little bit and then bring it up. All right. Alright, okay. It'll be close enough. So with the wire being as thick as it is, you can, in a way, go with a lot less wire, but still get the strength that you need. See if it's always good to see me struggle. Now, I'm a glass person and not really a wire wrapper kind of person. This is a jewelry thing, right? Okay, there we go. Now, okay, so now it's attached. It's not going anywhere, and it's a part of the chain. Okay, see, there you go. Whoops. There you go. And so that should withstand, you know, being in the window or outside or what have you. Now, if you make like 4 of these, it's the length of your chain. So for a 2.5-inch square, every single piece of glass will give you about 4 inches of length. So this is real close to 16 inches, okay? A little bit over a foot, okay? So when you do hang them out, make sure that you have like maybe a little bit more wire at the top when you attach it to whatever you're going to hang it with outside. Make sure that it's got enough you know, wire around it. And on the bottom, also make sure that there's enough wire, because what you need to do is instead of letting it maybe dangle, you might want to go ahead and attach it to the ground, just like a little hook or whatever, so that it's not flying around or blowing. It's not as heavy as it could be, and if you have it blow around and it hits the house, then it'll break. So try to keep that in mind. And if something does break, then just replace it. Okay? So this is Rhonda of Green Glass. Thank you very much for listening.